brave the roads. I had quite a journey myself this morning, so somebody gave me the idea of putting bags of salt in the back of my car in the trunk to weigh me down, so I think I'm going to try that for the rest of the winter, because I'm not driving one of those big hunky SUVs, so I just sidle up next to people and say, hi, I think this is my lane now. Get out of the way, because I can't stop. What can I say? Yeah, and sending blessings to all of you in Kansas City. I monitor several churches in Kansas City, and they're having quite the storm today with lots of snow and canceling their services, and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm grateful we don't have to do that. Although some of you may be wishing that you are watching from home. So hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining us, and I totally understand why you want to be snugly in your home today. Who knows what the temperature was when you got here? Oh, it's up to 12? Hi, that's wonderful, double digits. It's a heat wave, great. Thank you for making time to be here with us today. This is kind of a bedrock message today that belongs at the very heart of what unity is. So I'm excited to be able to share this, whether you're here or there or all around the world. Welcome. And we're here with our beautiful music team this morning. Thank you for doing your thing with us, Jen and Kevin and Mark. And that's how we're going to start. If you'd like to stand as you're able and sing or stay seated, let's get started.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's a place where I love to run and play. There's a place where I sing new songs of praise. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. There's a place where I lose myself within. There's a place where I find myself again. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Favorite one. There's a place where religion finally dies. There's a place where I lose my selfish pride. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. There's a place where I love to run and play. There's a place where I sing new songs of praise. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing, dancing, dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace.
Morning, 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 morning. We're the mighty threesome today.
That's right.
We're going to center now a little more in the up and down. Up and down, spinning around. Seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. I find balance, I find my way, centered in the peace of God. we are centered in the peace of God. Up and down, spinning around. Seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. But I find balance, I find my way. Centered in the peace of God. Oh yeah, centered in the peace of God. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. Up and down, spinning around. Seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. But I find balance, I find my way. Centered in the peace of God. Here we are, centered in the peace of God. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Yes, we are centered in the peace of God. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. Ooh, centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God.
Yes, we are. Look, like rabbits, you multiplied. Let's just take a moment to close our eyes and center in. And as we feel that connection to the presence in this room, just allow that presence to connect you to all that is. And especially this morning, we connect to the presence of the hearts in Minneapolis. An opportunity for us to hold the light for those beings. Not only seeing the light in them, but trusting that divine light to guide all beings. We behold the peace of God in their hearts, trusting that peace to calm and soothe. We behold the harmonizing power of love in them. And we trust that power to work things together for good, for the highest good of everyone involved. Grateful that that power of harmony knows exactly what is needed. And we just imagine in the mind's eye that every being is in harmony with every other being, and that all things are working together for the highest good. For this is the very nature of this presence, this spirit, this creator, and we allow that presence to express through each one of us, and we behold that presence to express through each person on the planet, knowing this is the truth of our being, and so now we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And will you help me expand this idea by speaking our invocation? The words are up here on the screen. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may think that each one of you are separate beings with different needs, different hair colors. Don't ask me why that came up. It's on my mind this week. But here's what I'm going to wager. I'm going to wager that everyone in this room has come in this room with either a desire on your heart or a worry. Or maybe it's a desire that you're worried about that you may not get. So imagine that there's actually a way to take care of that. So what's your plan? What's your plan to get your desire? What's your plan? What's your method to address this worry? Have you got it written down anywhere? Okay. Faith is good, Danny. Faith is important. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a plan, a method. It's the wonderful universal principle that unity teaches primarily. A principle that's built into the universe to provide a method, a plan to either get whatever it is that your heart is yearning for or to transform whatever it is that you're worried about. Would you prefer that? Does that sound good? You're living, would you? Okay, just want to make sure you care, otherwise we're all going home. So this is our creative process. And yes, there's still going to be challenges, even when you know the creative process. It's very typical for living on planet Earth to run into challenges. And good news, this creative process is here to address every single one of those. If you remember it, if you plan to use it, if you do use it. So from the book of Job, up here on the screen, it says, you will decide on a matter and it will be established for you. How easy is that? You decide on a matter and it will be established for you. Isn't that interesting? Kind of sounds like someone else is involved, doesn't it? It'll be established for you and light will shine on your ways. Did you know that that was actually happening? Did you know that every time you decide on a matter, it becomes established for you? Now, there's a lot packed into that word decide. And a couple weeks ago when we started talking about our best of intentions, we started first with our expectations. Remember that message? Where sometimes we have expectations that get in the way of our decisions. Or sometimes we just decide that it's not going to work even though we want it. So hang in there with me and we'll kind of go into the details of this today. But the nature of the universe that is holding this principle in place for us is its foundation is energy. Everything is energy. Nothing that we do in this universe happens without involving energy. And this energy is everywhere present, ready to be used, ready to be formed and fashioned. As a matter of fact, even science has come along with us, and they have started recognizing that what we used to call matter, that we could knock on and feel it was solid, they're agreeing is really not, that it's energy. And that deep down in every cell of our body, it's 99.99999% space. That space, in my opinion, is filled with this divine, what we call substance, spiritual energy, that is the very beginning of the process of creating our desires and transforming our challenges. So what I find amazing is that the writers of the scriptures 2,000 plus years ago knew this. I love this scripture from Hebrews chapter 11. The worlds were prepared by the word of God, so that what is seen is made from things that are not visible. Way ahead of quantum physics. Okay, John chapter 1 said that the Word was God. All things came into being through the Word, and without it, not one thing came into being. Think of Word, think of ideas. And to me, that's where it all started. Ideas in the mind of God, held in consciousness. That's where our process begins, with ideas. This is how the creative process works. We're going to turn energy into matter. Yes, you, are going to do this. We're talking about, in order to create things, we begin with ideas in our mind and provide our daily bread. And to me, that's one of the reasons why this universe was created this way, is to help support us, to provide for our needs. So there's a process in place where if you really understand the law, you have the ability to create whatever you want for today, for next week, for next year. And it's not just about the comforts of life. To me, this is the more hidden meaning of this universal principle. It's why our souls come here to create in ways that we can't create in the spiritual dimension. I imagine that our loved ones on the other side right now are having a gay old time, with all kinds of colors and possibilities and potential and joy, but they can't eat chocolate and peanut butter ice cream. They can't swim in the ocean. They can't grow a field of corn and shuck it and pop it. This is what's so exciting about being here, is that our souls get to experience life and ourselves in ways that we have not yet really understood. in the spiritual dimension. So we line up to get into bodies and come down here and create. And this universe that we move into has provided the mechanism for that to happen. Now, how do we put this energy to use? The good news is you already are. Every day since you really started feeling, even as an infant, before you could talk, before you could form sentences, your feelings were busy putting energy to use. Did you know that? As you were angry about something that you couldn't even put words to as a baby, you were sending out energy to the universe, and it was coming back to you with reasons to be angry. It was matching you, and it's still doing it today. What's it matching? It's the activation of the law that says what we hold in consciousness and our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs create in like kind in our lives. There's the universal principle that we talk about, and it's our third principle in unity, that to me is the primary activity of our lives. So when the proverb said, chapter 23, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's true for women too. As we think in our heart, so are we. Usually when we're thinking in our heart, we're talking about having a great day, having a bad day, feeling unworthy, feeling like a champion, whatever it is, you're creating that experience for yourself in your life. Have you had one of those days where you could really feel it? You knew who you were? So Jesus put it this way. He said, the measure you give will be the measure you get back. If you treat people with disdain, it comes back to you. If you treat people selfishly, it comes back to you. And it can work both ways. As Job told us, truly the thing that I fear comes upon me, and what I dread befalls me. So it doesn't really matter whether this is positive or negative. The law is still working, and it's listening. These two quotes, I'm going to use a lot of quotes today because this primary teaching that we share in unity has a lot of information about it that many of our unity writers have contributed. So from Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, he said, all structures are built by thought power. The omnipresent invisible substance, or thought stuff, is ever ready to take form in accordance with one's mental pattern. What do you think about a lot? Joseph Murphy, another good writer on this topic, said that your mind is basic to all living, and it gives life, substance, and form to what you accept and believe to be true. Everything you look at came out of the, here it is again, invisible mind of man and of God. Man is what he thinks all day long. Women are what they think all day long. Yikes. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you're thinking about all day long. So, it's not that the law is here to punish us for thinking bad thoughts or low vibration thoughts. It's just the way that the universal law works. God's sun shines on the righteous and the unrighteous, Jesus said, which means it doesn't matter who you are or how you think. This law is going to work the same for everyone. Not to punish us, it's actually meant to provide for us. And if it's not providing for us, then let's talk about what we're holding in consciousness. Remember last week when we were talking about the very best of intentions? Our focus was meant to be on God first. If we could get up and have a day where the first thought is God. Every time we change direction, we have something new to do. If our first thought is, how does God see this? And then let that idea drive you forward. Now you've got spiritual truth and power behind you, and they're informing what it is that you do. So Franklin Fillmore Farrington, never heard of him before actually, and don't know if he's related, said, things that are seen are low vibration. The unseen, abundant substance, is high vibration. Thank God. Life, light, love, mind, intelligence, spirit, substance, power, truth, success. Those are all formless ideas, right? And you are at the threshold of supply. Pick any one of those. Hold in consciousness. When I get out of bed on Sunday morning, I put my feet on the ground and I think power, strength, clarity, balance, order, wisdom. I just call out these divine qualities of God and know that they are just pouring through my being and expressing outward. So that is the day I'm planning. Does that make sense? Any one of us can do that. Pick any one of those words that you would like to see expressed in your life and begin to train your mind. That's what we're doing. We're training our mind to see through the eyes of spirit. That's how you use the law to advantage. That's what this universal law was intended to do. Now, most of the time, last I heard, we think, each one of us thinks 60,000 thoughts a day. Last time they counted. I don't know how they counted that. But 60,000 thoughts a day go through the human mind, and someone would say that it's pretty much the same thoughts that we had yesterday. Can you see how that's possible? Because basically we keep doing the same things we did yesterday. It's kind of rare when we have multiple days in a row that are filled with all new things. I mean, I don't know if that has ever happened to anyone. Where tomorrow, let's try that. Let's try getting up tomorrow. Well, shoot, right there, we're repeating what we did yesterday. But once you get up, let's try doing everything differently. And just see if we can't change a few ideas in our mind. And you will start to notice it might feel hard. It might feel like a rusty wheel that you're trying to get going when you're thinking of a new thing to do. Cut yourself some slack, but for sure change what you eat. Make sure that all your meals are different than things that you've eaten before. Wouldn't that be fun? No. I heard that. Okay, well here, this is going to help us. Instead of seeing things that you're working with in your life every day, see energy. Call it energy. This is energy. When I touch something, say, this is energy. This is energy. And when we're trying to create something, we're thinking, I'm using energy to create this. I don't need money to create this. I need energy to create this. Did you think about that? That's exactly what's happening. Stop thinking things, start thinking energy. What we're trying to do is retrain the mind and get it away from this belief in lack and not enough for everybody, because energy is infinite, yes? God is infinite, yes? And that's the foundation of everything that we're creating in our life. So switch over to start thinking of energy instead of things. And that's going to start creating a new frequency in you that says, always enough, always enough. First of all, Charles Fillmore says what we're doing here is strengthening our faith. Danny talked about faith this morning. Here's what faith is in his mind. Faith is the perceiving power of mind. In other words, how you see things, what kind of meaning you give them. So depending on the meaning that you give them, you're actually also joined with the power to shape substance. If you strongly believe that this is what something means, then it will then respond to you in like kind. So the way John Randolph Price said is, this way of thinking will soon condition consciousness to the truth of plenty, plenty, plenty everywhere. If you start training your mind that everything that you're seeking begins in energy, it's telling yourself there's plenty, plenty, plenty everywhere. And so that helps to lower that frequency of fear of not enough. It starts to remove that idea of doubt from consciousness. Isn't that good news? Is it that hard? No, Kitty says loudly. No, it's not that hard. We just need to get in the habit of energy instead of things. And this is another thing that I love about unity, is how we teach these spiritual principles as practical application. That's our fifth principle. It's nice to know these spiritual principles, but it's more important that we actually apply them, live them. So I'm going to ask our volunteers that went to the vision board workshop and brought your vision board, if you'll come up with you here and stand next to me, bring your vision board with you. You know who you are. And one of the tools that we use and we apply, Deb, will you come up too, please? That we apply to this particular practice is our power of imagination. So let me start with Deb, and I'm going to ask you to just explain to us what the nature of the Vision Board Workshop is about.
Well, it's everything that Kitty just said.
Okay.
But so think of it as we use our hands, we use our creativity, we use our energy. So we're co-creating with God as we make our vision boards. And it is a combination of our humanness, like training our brains, our actual brains. If we're training our reticulating activating system within our brain to filter out anything we don't want, because as you said, Kitty, we have so many thoughts and so many things coming into our mind that this system within our body has to decide what gets through, that we notice. And you're training, the vision board is training your mind to say, this is what I want. This is what I want to notice. And this will automatically happen in our brain and mind. So I love that part. And the quantum physics part, we talked about that. And the spiritual side, which Kitty just shared. And this year's vision board was called Live Your Vision, Love Your Life. Because when we can give our vision boards the love and the aligned action, the joy in that, raising our vibration, as Kitty says, we can bring these into our reality. And that's what I love about vision
Wonderful.
boards.
Thank you. I'm going to take this now down the row here. Thank you, Goldie, for doing this. Do you want to share your vision board with us and tell us just like one or two things on it and what you plan to do, why you put it on the board?
I'll just point out one, and it's this one in the middle. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a picture of, it looks like things are showering down on this woman. And every morning I wake up, I say I have happy, healthy love cells that flow throughout my body. And I found happy, healthy, and it looks like things are flowing down on her, and prosperity just rains all over me, I like to say. And that love and light is showering me. And if I feel that way every single day, life will be good.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll let you step down. I'm going to go to Jen next. What's something you want to show us?
Hi. I did this experience twice, last year and this year, and it was a totally different experience based on my perspective. Last year I was coming as a desperate soul, wanting to be changed, wanting to change my whole life and not knowing how to do it. And I was lovingly talked through by so many people. And it was really about the center being the eye. There's an eye in both of my pictures. But this one is full of more possibility and creativity, and I was in a totally different place. And it wasn't that this did it. It's like prayer, you don't do it to change God, you do it to change you. And this is something that I've always loved doing, but I neglected to do whenever I was sad because I didn't want to put down what was really in my mind. But there was no desire to do that anymore. And some of the best things is that the center is from fear to freedom. Last year was about the basics of just learning how to be a person again after denying that. And then this one was really stepping into that. And so now I've got all kinds of creative ideas. I've got music here in a corner, which I didn't have last year. Let the sunshine in, enjoy. And then the thing under from fear to freedom is I discovered that peace and clarity come not from attempting to control life, but from surrendering to the divine within. And I'm not controlling life anymore because I know there's somebody to do it for me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Love that. Judd, come on over.
No judging. Those are a lot better than my board.
We do not judge here, do we?
So I divided my life into three categories: business, personal, and community service. That's sort of who I am. But what I got out of it is, first of all, the experience was awesome. Oh, okay.
We'll pick one so you know what you're going to talk about.
Okay, so I'm going to pick travel. So I've traveled a lot, 50 countries, and I'm like, I'm getting old, I don't want to travel anymore. But when I really thought about it, this experience made me think about it, thank you, Deb, that I really do want to travel. There's more places I want to go, and I have someone to go with now, so that's cool. So I put pictures of Africa, safari, which I've always wanted to do, and a boat trip along the Danube or whatever. So it was just a really great experience.
Wonderful. Thank you, Judd, for doing that. Thanks for sharing, everybody. So, you know what? We call that a vision board, not only because it's casting a vision into the future, but it's also about pictures. Did you notice that? Pictures and words. Pictures are something that our power of imagination create more juicy energy than just thinking a word. Do you understand that? That when you see the picture of the beach with the sun shining and the waves, and you can just imagine, you can just feel the warmth and the grain of sand under your feet, yes? That's what picturing power does for us, is it starts to strengthen our magnetic energy so that we are now calling in more easily things that match what we need in order to have that experience. So that picturing power is important because it helps to create feelings. And feelings are another important tool. Probably the most important tool when we're creating, because they've got the loudest energy that is flashing out into the universe and saying, I'm here and I'm feeling excited. And the universe says, well, let's show you all kinds of opportunities to be excited. So that's one of the ways that we learn how to use this universal process on purpose, is to generate feelings as if it's already complete. Neville was another spiritual writer who said, when you know what you want, you must deliberately focus your attention on the feeling of your wish fulfilled until that feeling fills the mind and crowds all other ideas out of consciousness. So our goal is to think of the desire and feel good about it as if it's already done. Now, your ego is probably going to argue with you about that because we don't see it yet. But that's what your imagination is for. Go back into the picturing power until you can imagine what it will be like if this were already created. What's my desire? If for some reason a doubt comes up, well, that's one of those expectancies that also carry energy that get in the way that we talked about in the first week of this series. If it's a contrary expectation to what you desire, it's in the way. So we've got to find a different feeling that says, this is complete and I'm really glad I did it because this is different for me now. And now I can do this and I can experience this, and here's the reason that I'm doing that. Stuck in doubt? Ask yourself why. What is it that I doubt? Where did that belief come from? We call those error beliefs, and they usually form early in life and through repetition. So just notice, what's the error that I'm holding that's contrary to God in my life? And ask yourself, is that really based on truth? No, well, let's go back to truth again. As Esther would say, no amount of action in the world makes up or makes a difference for a feeling that's contrary, if that makes sense. So, just notice, am I struggling to make this happen? Then it's probably not in alignment with your higher self, with the divine mind. And find a way to feel good about it as if it's already complete. And how many times do we gather with friends and family, maybe even walk here in the door on Sundays, and we find ourselves sharing complaints about what happened to us this past week? Maybe we're hoping to get some comfort or some sympathy from others. We didn't have anybody else to tell, so it seems like the appropriate place to let it out. Maybe we're seeking help, but we're not really hopeful that we're going to get it. We just need to say these words out loud. Well, here's another tool to use these universal principles. What's coming out of your mouth? What are the words that you are saying? What are you talking about that's creating feelings and engendering pictures in your mind? You have an option to choose something else to talk about. And I get it. I get it that we don't want to store the fear or the depression in us by pretending like it's not there and not talking about it. Find one person that you trust, that you know loves you unconditionally, that you can get it out and look at it, but don't stay stuck there. Don't keep telling the story over and over and over again. Get it out and then realize, okay, somewhere in here is a belief that is not serving me. It's not about God, so let me see if I can switch this. And maybe your friend can even help you get there. Choose words that have meanings that are in a high level frequency. In other words, they make you feel good when you say them. They give you hope, or they at least give you relief. Can you just get to relief with your words? Most people feel that that's not too far to stretch. But Jesus told us that by your words you'll be justified. By your words you'll be condemned. It just depends on what it is that we are talking about. So identify the error and then renew the mind with new words. Charles Fillmore said that the word is a generative center with all the possibilities of God at its call. Just imagine yourself calling out to the universe and saying, I know peace is out there, and I'm choosing it for myself. I know wisdom is out there in the divine mind. I'm choosing it for myself. Don't try and figure out the details about how that's going to happen. Just trust that it's already been provided. God's done all God can do. Now it's our job to claim it with our words. Say out loud what it is that we want to experience. Words help us, again, create pictures in our mind and feelings in our body. So, I'm really looking forward to, that's a positive energy, right? I'm really looking forward to a cup of hot chocolate when I get inside. Can't you just feel that? That's a feeling word in you. That's a joy idea in you. Those are creative ideas that you have available to you at any moment. So picture what it is that you desire, feel it, and talk about it. Jesus said that if you do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you say will come to pass, it will be done for you. That's a mighty big promise. That's a universal law. So use words that set an intention. It might even be writing a little story out for you. And this is kind of where I wanted us to focus today, because rarely do we do this. I would love to get to the point where one day I say, how many of you have a notebook at home that has written out something that you are creating in your life, a story about it, that this is what it looks like and this is how it feels and this is what I'm doing towards it? How many of you have one of those at home? And I would just love it if everybody in the room raised their hands. It's perfectly normal that you don't raise your hand because most human beings don't even know why they would do that, but you know why. I'm reminding you today why this is important. Those words are power, and they are something that we all know how to speak. And if you come here long enough, you know what the words are that you might want to choose to write down, to think about, to say out loud. But even the prophet Isaiah from chapter 55 said, my word that goes out from my mouth shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose and succeed in the thing for which I've sent it. It's a powerful tool. Give it some energy. Another tool in using this universal law is to go to the end and become the desire in your energy, in your heart, in your beingness. Become the benefits of why you're going after it in the first place. Ask yourself, why do I want this thing in my life? What will be the good of it? How will it serve me? And then see if you can't choose something more spiritually related, another divine quality that will play itself out when you're living this experience. So let's talk about this. One of the primary things human beings try to achieve is to make enough money to feel comfortable. In other words, not fearful. So money, a big thing on people's lists that they may say, I don't have enough of. Why do we want money? Tell me. That's how we get stuff, right? Stuff that we need. Our daily bread, as Jesus might say. And that's perfectly normal. It's kind of the way the universe was designed. So that's our desire to fill a need, and we think we need money for it. But is it really the thing? Or is it something else that the thing brings you? What's a common divine quality that you experience when you have the thing? Peace, joy, abundance. Abundance is not a feeling. Find a feeling. Comfort. Freedom. Ta-da! Freedom. Yeah, if I have enough money, I would be free. Okay, be that now. Be freedom now. Find a way to get into your thoughts and your heart and imagine you're already there and you already have money. It's just not an issue. Anytime you need something, there's always plenty of money. Remember, plenty of energy, plenty, plenty, plenty. Feel that sense of freedom right now today, before you figured out a way to manifest it into form. That part will take care of itself more so when you can first just be freedom. Suddenly your life will just start looking like freedom to you. And you may find out it has nothing to do with money. You may find out that what you really needed was a change in consciousness, a change of belief in how you see life. Start with freedom. How about when you are seeking a new relationship? Why? Why do you want that? A new relationship. Maybe you've never really had a close, intimate relationship with someone. Why do you want that? Companionship? To feel safe? Joy? Fun? How about to feel loved? Most people desire that in their lives, to feel loved. Be that now. Be in harmony now. If your relationship that you're seeking to create in your life is something that will be harmonious, of course you hope that, then you be harmony right now. You get along with everyone. You find a way to love everyone. You let that be your primary energetic beingness, and watch yourself just attract people in your life that want to be that love for you. And let's talk about if you are seeking a different home, a home for the very first time. Why do you want that? Security. Comfort. You want to have that place where you can go home and feel like, I'm safe, I'm secure, I've got a roof over my head, I can make this be any way that I want it to be here. Be that now. Be safe and secure right now, no matter where you live. Hold that in your energy as if you know there's no power working against me. I know God's the only power in the universe, and God loves me. God gives. God's always giving. So I can be secure and comfortable right now. And when you do that, you make yourself a match for an environment that repeats that. Hence the new home. Very common when our bodies are upset. We want health. What's the real reason that we want health? Freedom, strength, life. That's probably, if we're going to go to an emotion for health, emotion related to health, I think life, you may not think of life as an emotion, but I do. Think of alive. Would you say alive? Vitality. Yeah. I'm going to set energetic aside because you might be able to talk yourself into saying, I can't be that now. Okay, you can't be that. But what you can hold in consciousness is an idea of vitality. What does vitality feel like? Let that little movie run in your mind of you being vital, you being brightly alive. Be that now in consciousness, even if your body can't yet do that. Because guess what? Your body is always listening. Your cells are always matching your consciousness, your feelings, the energy that you're sending out. So we can actually be what we desire first to help become that magnifier and that magnetic tool that draws more manifestation of the same kind in our life. And ultimately, our last tool today is about doing something. Remember, it's okay to know the principles. It's good to know the principles, but we also have to put them to use in our life. Do something. So that means that we don't necessarily have to know every step of the staircase before we get started. Just start with the first one, as Martin Luther King would say, and start using this energy in a way that is aligned and feels good with where you're headed, with what you want. It might be that you're about circulating good out in the world and find it circulating good back to you. It might be about giving yourself away in some way. Instead of holding yourself within until I get this thing, what if you just started giving yourself away as if you already had this thing, and that your energy, your love, your vitality, your willingness is actually uplifting others who turn around and want to give back to you. What about taking a risk? Oh no, not that's too far. Don't ask me to take a risk. You know, there was a survey done a few years back. They surveyed people in 33 different cultures. They identified who the happy ones were, and they discovered that all the happy people also said they're happy because they take risks. Now, why do you think that is? Why would it make you happy to take a risk? Your imagination can see what's possible, and it feels good. You break the barriers. If you succeed in taking that risk, you want to take more. It strengthens you. So when you take a risk, it's less about running from your fear, and it's more about moving toward your dream. Do you see the difference? Okay, so obviously it's going to be a wise risk where you're not jumping off a cliff for a joyride, but you're taking a step that you may not have taken. And you know what? To me, that's the number one fear in a risk is it's new. You haven't done it yet. You don't know how it's going to turn out. That's what makes it a risk. This is where you lean back into your energy everywhere that is for you. Remember, one presence, one power, all love, all good. It's all for us. If we don't take a risk, how does anything new get born? Kitty, as she was about to turn away from starting Unity in Naperville and do something safer, like just go get a job at an employment agency as a church that already exists. But Spirit said, how does anything new get born? So here we are with a chance to really create our life and take a risk at the same time. That's how creation happens. Okay, we fear something. Go back to the question, what do I fear? What's my belief behind it? Why do I think that it has any power over me when who's my only power? God is my power. You know, one of the things that we might want to do is go back to our words again and use what we call denials in Unity, which is not pretending that this isn't happening to me. A denial is saying that fear, that thing has no power over me. So up here on the screen, here's a few that we can say. Let's just go down the list. Lack has no power anywhere. Imperfection has no power anywhere. Failure has no power anywhere. Conflict has no power anywhere. Fear has no power anywhere. Why do we know that's true? Because God's the only power. Is God any of those negative energies? No. Keep coming back to the truth. And don't try and have it all figured out. Just take the one step at a time. Keep walking toward your desire, and you will find your energy being strengthened and aligned with that desire. So just ask, what's one thing I can do? One thing I can do that is headed in that direction that will support my intention. So one last thing that we do often in Unity, we do it here every week, is use affirmations. The difference between these and denials is now we're affirming what is true about God regarding this situation in my life. So here's a list up here on the screen. I want us to say them together. There's always plenty everywhere. Wholeness and perfection are everywhere. Love is everywhere. Now notice what you become in these next three statements. You become this. Together. I am the open channel through which substance is flowing as wealth. I am the open channel through which life is flowing as health. I am the open channel through which love is flowing as harmony. Now, every single one of those statements you just made are based on spiritual truth. The ego cannot deny them. So you've just used words. They create a sense of feeling in you based on the words you're saying. They can create pictures in your mind based on the words you're saying. So here we are, we're using our imagination, we're using our feelings, we're using our words. Become one of those benefits. Become the idea of wealth. What is wealth? Is it a bunch of money stacked up in an account somewhere? Or is wealth just the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it? Become these things first and take some action. Do something. okay? Let's take some time in the quiet and see if we can't center in on that amazing power that's waiting for us in our minds. Just get comfy in your chair. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Open your hands. Take a moment to go through your mind and feel down into your heart and ask this question. If I could feel anything right now, what feeling would it be? What do I want to feel right now? Maybe it's peace or comfort. Maybe it's vibrantly alive. Maybe it's a sense of worthiness. Take a moment to just imagine in that beautiful chemistry lab of your mind. What would my life look like if I felt this way all day long? What would I be doing that I'm not doing right now if I felt this way all day long? What would I start doing that I haven't done if I felt this way all day long? Who would I want in my life that would support my feeling this way? Not that they have to do it for me or make a way for me, but just to match this feeling. Who do I know that matches this feeling when I'm around them? What would I be talking about, maybe differently than before? If I felt this feeling all day long, how would my conversation change? What words would I be using? What would my life look like if this feeling showed up regularly throughout my life, not just for a day, but if I made this part of my beingness on a regular basis, how would my life change? I'm so grateful that the power of creativity rests in my heart. I'm so grateful that I can call on this power anytime that I want to change something in my life. I'm looking forward to using this power more often, consciously, on purpose, with joy and gratitude, to not only create a life for me that feels good, but to be a presence in the world that radiates good to others. I can do this. I am doing this. I am choosing now to do this. Grateful to know that the divine universe that I dwell in is working all things together for my highest good. This is the truth of the world and the universe I live in, and I gladly join with it and let it be. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, beloveds. I'm excited to see where life goes for us. Feel free to come here on Sunday mornings and talk about it. Talk about one good thing that happened to you next week. And we're going to keep going. Next week, we've got some other things to look at in this creative process that you already have available to you that will help you. So I hope you'll be back. Look forward to seeing you online as well. Thank you. And this time in the service is where we share tithes and love offerings as just another way to create a spiritual community that supports us. So thank you for your gifts. For those of you who have already given by automated giving, thank you. If you didn't know, there's little cards out front that can just bless the offering that you've given electronically, and you can put that in the bag if you'd like. Otherwise, if you're watching online, you can give. Up here on the screen, there's our website, unityinnaperville.org, where you can give. There's also a post office box if you'd like to mail your check to P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. I'm going to invite whoever our ushers are to come forward today. Let's sing, and then we'll do a blessing.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful. I am so blessed, I am so grateful. I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Susan, let's just open up our hearts and minds and realize that the words we're about to speak up here on the screen are another form of creativity. So notice that it says love moving through us and what power that love has. So let's hold those ideas together in our heart. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you, Susan. And who's our announcer? Beth is our announcer today.
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm here to give your announcements today.
Hi, Beth.
If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here. Please complete the orange registration card at the welcome table and leave it on the info table, and we'll keep you posted about upcoming events. Virtual newcomers can sign up for the weekly e-news at unityinnaperville.org. Sisters in Spirit's February service project is collecting school supplies for the Longwood Elementary School, which is just nearby over here in this neighborhood. A handout with requested supplies is in the cafe, or see the Tuesday e-news or the Unity's homepage on the website. Please bring items no later than February 8th. Let's go to lunch today after the service at Pomegranate Cafe. Monday Morning Metaphysics reads The Eye of the Storm, Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace by Gary Simmons, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. on Zoom. Sisters in Spirit meets online Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Check the event calendar for a link to the Zoom room. If your birthday is in February, send your photo to admin@unityinnaperville.org by Thursday, and we'll sing happy birthday to you next Sunday. For details or special instructions on all our events, please read the event calendar at unityinnaperville.org or see the e-news on Tuesdays. Our prayer chaplain today is Kyra. She's available to pray with you in the prayer room after the service, or you can email your name and phone number to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and a chaplain will call you today by 1 p.m. And now the Men of Unity group has an announcement.
Thank you, Beth. All right, so Kitty spoke today about, how we all have 60,000 thoughts. Every day they repeat themselves. How many of you, though, have not taken any action yet on our men's fundraiser? Okay, all right. So, even online, you can do this at unityinnaperville.org, where you can go to donate and you can make a donation for our fundraiser. So right now, we have a Super Bowl coming up. I'm sure all of you are big football fans. Whether you are or not, this is a big deal, and it is a lot of fun. So we're looking to raise quite a bit for Unity in Naperville, and the first one we have out there at the table, we have our men's group, the mug group, will be out there to help you take your donations, and you can actually win. I mean, you really can. Your odds are very good when you look at the size of our total church, and the first prize is $500 on the squares. Now, to understand how that works is you don't even have to know the first thing about football. It just happens that that's our event. That's the theme. But you can win. So you just pick a square. You could pick many squares, and it's $35 a square or more. If you're generous, please do. And we will then assign the numbers on the axis going across the top and along the side of the board, and you will have your numbers. All right? So it's a $500 first prize, $300 second prize, and a $200 third prize. Now, the first and third quarter, my bad. Thank you, Kitty. So for the football squares, for the first and third quarter, it's $150 winnings. First and third quarter, 2 winnings. Then on the at halftime, there will be a $200 winner. And then at the end of the game, $300. For our raffle, those are $10 each. And if you want to give more for the raffle tickets as well, you can do that as well. So those are $500 for the first prize. Second prize is $300, and third is $200. Now we're also going to have blackjack. We're going to be playing blackjack on the 8th, on February 8th, right outside. And we're going to have, it's $15 a hand, and you can win, if you have a winning hand, 2 tickets that will, for cash prizes of the raffle. So if you get you buy $15 per hand of blackjack, you could play many hands, and you can also win. You'd win 2 tickets for the raffle. So we've raised quite a bit of money already. We're raising cash, of course, here, and we're also, many people have been donating online. Approximately, we're at about $2,600. It's probably more than that. I haven't checked a new update over the last several days, but we're doing quite well. So hope you are going to participate, because again, if you have to do something different, you've got to let this be that thing. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Right, yeah. Let's sing one more song. Day by day.
Stand if you're able.
Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, 3 things I pray: to see Thee more clearly, love Thee more dearly, follow Thee more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, 3 things I pray, 3 things I pray. Day by day, day by day,
Follow Thee more dearly.
day by day.
Day by
Day by day by day by day.
Okay, my friends, here's our closing affirmation for this week. This is just a reminder. Remember, instead of things, you're thinking energy. So let's say this together. There is always plenty of good everywhere. Let that be your foundational statement before you get out of bed, before you walk out the door, and then trust that you're going to run into it everywhere, okay? Do that with me, and we'll keep going with this topic next week. Please say hey to somebody that you haven't seen in a while. Introduce yourself if you forgot names. Ask them one thing that they heard today that kind of went, whoa, okay, I'm going to do that. Or I might have problems doing that. Nancy.
On Tuesday, my granddaughter gave our great-grandbaby.
A new great-grandparent for Nancy and Russ. Happy days. That's wonderful news. Thank you for sharing that. Lane. Thank you. That's sweet. So sweet. Okay, my honeys, there's food out front. Have a great day. Everyone online, thank you for watching, and please join us again next Sunday. Try and listen again, maybe. Learn a few more things. Put it to practice, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
And we'll leave our vision boards out in the lobby if you want to look at them.
Oh, good. There's a place where I love to run and play. There's a place where I sing new songs of praise. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. There's a place where I lose myself within. There's a place where I find myself again. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. There's a place where I lose my selfish pride. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. Dancing with the Holy One in fields of grace. There's a place where I love to run and play. There's a place where I sing new songs of praise.